Okay, I'll call to order the special meeting of the town of Ixonia. Roll call, please.
Brian Durkee.
Here.
Dave Kester.
Here.
Amy Renard. Here. Dan Rupno.
Here.
Rick Ziegler.
Here.
Pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Joanne, did anyone sign up for public comment?
Yeah, yes, I got Bruce Degner. For agenda item, is that a number 4? Or what is that, H? I can't read your writing.
There's no H.
I know there's one, so I don't know what that is. Must be 4.
Okay, I'd just like to make a comment on last week's meeting. The meeting was called, it was a budget hearing, and at that hearing, I didn't hear any comments, I was sitting out in the audience, didn't hear any comments from anybody on the budget. So obviously, everybody must have looked at it and thought it was okay, and that because then the hearing was adjourned. And we went into the electorate meeting on the levy. And at that point, we discussed the levy, showed that it was a balanced budget between the levy and the budget. And a motion was made and seconded, of which I second the motion, to approve that levy. So, means the levy is pretty much cast in stone that that's what's going to the county. Because the electorates said that was okay. Then we went into a special town board meeting where all at once we were tearing the budget out apart, which would change everything as far as what the levy would be, which at that point, the levy was going to go to the county, which has to go at that point because it needs to be into the county so that the tax roll can be prepared. So I don't really know what's going on. You know, obviously, something happened on the town board that not everybody was on the same page or didn't attend all the budget workshops or whatever. I don't know. I did try looking in the minutes and I did see that you had a budget hearing or budget workshops and everybody was in agreement with what the budget was presented. So I don't know, you know, and then I heard through this all that, you know, we're got in the budget for police protection, but nothing has been set in stone yet as far as a contract. So who knows where that could go, because once the attorneys get working on a contract, that could tie it up for well over a year probably, depending on back and forth. I don't know. I just don't know what happened at this meeting, because I've been through lots of budget hearings and lots of levy, electorate meetings for that. In my years of service on the fire and EMS service in Ixonia, I've got at least, I was thinking about it today, I've got at least 30 years of budget hearings that I went through. And I've never had one yet that went this way. Because once the budget was approved with the levy limitation and that, the town boards just went and approved the budget because that's all been worked out. So that's just my comment on this. Something isn't quite right. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Brett, did you want to talk or you just signed in? Okay. I got Jeff Wagner. He wants to speak on
wages, if I could. Is this an appropriate time?
You get 3 minutes. We can't answer you, but
All right. I'd just like to bring this up. Did a little research after I went home last week and did some digging in the Social Security wages. I went back to 24 years. In those 24 years, my wages have increased 48%. If you do the math, it comes out to 2% a year. Some of that, there's some outliers on that because the average in certain places. Just for example, today I was doing some research just for shits and giggles. operator starting at the City of Waukesha's 27 to 32. I got 9 years. I'm only making $31.50. 9 years with the wastewater. With those 9 years, I'm required to balance a budget of $2.5 million with the help of Joanne, of course. In those, in a year, I'm on call 24/7, 341 days a year. There's 24 days that I'm not, and that's when I have an operator that is covering the weekend for me. Otherwise, it's on me. 24/7, 341. That's 40 weekends out of the month I cover. That doesn't include calls, any given time of day. Rambling here a little bit. I'm in charge of 2 wastewater districts, 1 and 2, 10 lift stations, fine screen, plant, septic receiving. Required to have a basic operator, 6 subclasses, do 15 reports every year, electrical background knowledge, mechanical background knowledge, biology background knowledge, and computer knowledge. Not to mention that, in the years at the highway shop, there was years was 99 through 2020 highway. Some of those years overlapped with utility district. So 21 years at highway utility, 9 years at utility. Last 5 years were strictly utility. I know how to operate every piece of equipment in town. Used to plow snow, know all the roads, know where all the pipe lays, I know where everything is. The point that I'm trying to get at is, I'm making 80 cents more than the lowest person in the highway shop. That would be just an operator. For all that, it's not worth it. It is not. I've been told that the next operator, somebody was supposed to set aside $10,000 for that next operator, because they don't know what it's gonna cost to get them. I'm making a proposal that you give me that $10,000 raise, which comes out to $480, you can have your 5%, and you can have your stipend. That's all I got.
I got Carl Yeager.
Carl Yeager, M9036 Triangle Road. I think the board realizes we've got a new operator up at the Shivery. I stopped up there and talked to him today, and I don't know where the board is on police protection, but he would be willing to host a benefit to raise funds to support the police department. He has got good experience with DuckTales, Whitetails for running these kind of programs for raising money, and he would be interested in doing that. So I just wanted to point that out to you, everybody on the board, so that you can get a hold of him and talk to him, because he's in favor of some police protection, some sort of police protection.
Anybody else?
Yep, Calvin, are you, Calvin? Calvin Sauer.
Calvin Sauer, N8744 River Valley Road. I'd just like to bring up about the youth baseball fee increase. I'm not opposed of it, but I think it should be a stepped increase. You gotta remember, the youth baseball donated a lot of time, materials, manpower to build the dugouts at both Fireman's Park and at Ski Sled Park. They do a lot of donating for other equipment, scoreboards, that kind of thing. So I'm not opposed to the increase. I just think it should be stepped, because that's a huge increase to take on at one time. So.
Thank you. Anybody else?
That's all I got.
Well, okay, moving forward. Considering possible action on adopting resolution 2025-8, 2026 budget. I guess there's been a lot of confusion over it. Part of it possibly was because I was out of town for a week on vacation, but we kinda had one workshop. That was it. So, and I don't feel the board was comfortable with one budget or with one workshop. I know I wasn't. And if I ask too many questions, fine. But to me, if I'm gonna sign a 5-year contract, I wanna know that this is the best thing for the town. My consideration, if you think about a few things, a 5-year contract at $250,000.
Who took the initiative to go to Lac LaBelle, you met with the people there, you negotiated this contract. It was in the budget, at the time the budget came before the four of us, you saw it in advance. During a budget workshop, you were touting what a good deal it was and the benefits of it, and you were selling it to us, and I thought it sounded like a good deal. Then, only 6 days later, you said you didn't like it, you wouldn't sign it. So, I don't know what was going on there, but that was very confusing for me. And so, I don't know what made you flip-flop on that police contract issue, but it is built into our budget and it is built into the tax levy right now. That's a 200 and what? $68,000 expense that's in our budget. We're going to collect taxes totaling $86,000. And now, if we cancel our efforts to enter into a contract with the village, we'll be collecting $250,000 in excess dollars that we have no use for.
That money is not in the levy?
Why not?
Well, because that was a part of the LNG plant money. So, and then,
Okay.
and some of it also was what was already set aside for,
Okay.
in the, this, the 2024 and 2025 budget for police contract.
Okay,
So it's
even
not-
better,
So it's not technically in the levy
Mhm.
itself,
but it's in our budget.
but it's in your budget.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's in the budget. So, if you don't want to approve that contract, then you should make a motion to that effect.
no, wait a minute. Can I speak? Okay, I'm not saying I'm opposed to it. And yes, I believe it's a good price. Okay, and yes, I went and negotiated it. And, yes, I believe it is a good price. But is it something at this moment we really need? When I looked at it, we had a $285,000 excess from We Energies this year
Is it-
that we won't have next year. Okay, so all I'm asking the board is I want everyone to understand that next year, we are gonna be short when we start. And this is a 5-year commitment. This isn't a 1-year or a 2-year. So I want everyone to understand that in the next 5 years, you guys have a real shortfall. Because this year, we got an extra, $385,000. We got an extra $385,000 this year that we won't have next year.
We're supposed to get the LNG money every year.
Correct, but we've got double this year because we got 25 and 26.
But we will get, all things,
We don't know what the amount is, though.
we'll get some next year.
Well, we know next
Right.
year, for going into 2026, we know it's going to be $360,000.
For sure.
Yep,
Okay,
that's
but
what
you,
they're telling us.
but you're not following me. It's a double payment this year.
But next year, Joanne said.
We're
For
taking 26 money.
2027.
We're taking 26 money. Okay, I'm just explaining to you. Well,
I can still hear you all the way over here.
I'm glad because you weren't following.
No, you, What do you wanna do with that police contract, Brian?
Okay.
Personally,
Yeah,
I like it. It's a good price. I don't know if we could duplicate it again, but the question comes in, what are we gonna do next year and the year after and the year after that? Okay, that's my concern, because we have a fire department that is in need of an ambulance and not real long. So can you see us not doing anything for ambulance or fire truck for another 4 years? I mean, because we're making a 5-year commitment, that's all I'm saying.
okay, what if we do this? And you talk to the sheriff, I talk to the sheriff. What if we went with the sheriff's department? That's a 1-year contract. It was about $150,000 the last time I talked to the sheriff, plus mileage. It's not gonna cover as many hours as the Lac LaBelle contract would, but it could be kind of an experiment to see if it's useful, to see if people think that it's worth that money. And in 2027, we could probably come up with another $150,000 if we wanted to renew it, but we wouldn't have to.
Well, that's a possibility, but we
I
could
thought
also
that's a good
take
idea.
$250,000 or $300,000, earmark it for a new ambulance, okay, and save it this year, even though it's in the levy. That's my only point, okay, because,
Where did this ambulance business come from?
well,
We
I'm
didn't
s-
even talk about any ambulance before.
I'm projecting out 5 years, okay? I'm just saying, we have to order something fairly soon. You have to look at everything over a 5-year.
Okay.
Okay. Here's what I came up with. Knowing that we were stuck on the police, I went and I called chairman in Ashburn, I called the chairman in Lebanon, okay? They pay, in Ashburn, they have Neosho, and they have Rubicon, and they split it. It cost them $40,000, okay? Their program is that they have people that are retired or have been state patrol people. They're the ones that come to them, and they're people like from Hartford or wherever. They're all police officers, and they come and schedule for their patrol for Ashburn, and they have the car for them and everything. So that's how they run it. He says he's more than happy to sit down with us and talk to us about that. So this is $40,000 versus $250,000. So when you start looking at this, and I thought, well, he said, call Lebanon. He says, because Emmett wants to get out of the police department thing. And so I called him also. His whole thing is that they provide the EMS to Emmett, and Emmett provides them protection with the police officers. It costs them $20,000 a year. So $250,000 a year is a lots and lots of money. And I don't think we need a full-time officer, and any one of these people would be more than happy to sit down with us and show us what they have and what they do. And Lebanon even mentioned, I think Kelvin might even know this, that I think they have to go to, is it Watertown now, and pay them to do part of their EMS service, 'cause according to what he said. He said he's willing to trade off with us if we need to, or find something that would work.
There's a lot of talks that have to happen before that happens.
Right, but they're willing to sit down and talk. They have the police car, they have the people that can do that and help us out up here. Do we need a full-time officer? No, but we need a presence up here, okay? I don't think we need a full-time. The part-time people, and they're scheduled, there are law enforcement from other areas that are just coming in and scheduling to do what they have to in Lebanon, or they're doing it in Neosho. So spend another, $200 and some thousand, $210,000 for 1 year? 5 years makes more sense. 5 years on that is only like $50,000. So when they start talking to these people, I'm like, well, that's pretty expensive. And I think we have more options to do that. But sheriff's office in Jefferson, they're a backup, okay? They still will provide that with us if somebody here can't do that. But we have a presence that's just right here. If you got somebody that needs people to come in, you can call them, boom, they'll be here.
How many hours would that be?
They were up to like I can't remember what he said exactly. It was just brief conversations, and I wanted to just get it, what they had as far as the basics. But they'll sit down with us, and they'll tell you how many hours it is, and it's quite bad. Some are even asking for more hours. He says, and it's just a part-time thing, because wherever they're working, and like I said, he said the police chief in Mayville is helping them set this up. So it's not just like, you know, and he knows all the people within the area that are in law enforcement, and that's how they make it work. So you don't have to train a guy, you don't have to get a car. They'll have that.
Yeah.
And they're more than happy to come in and sit down and talk to you and see if it'd work for us.
I appreciate Brian's concern with the $268,000 a year times 5 years. That is a lot of expense. Your opportunity to slice a significant digit off of it and get it down to 20-some thousand dollars or whatever, say even 50, is a plausible way to get into having coverage for Ixonia and see how it works. You know, that it's doing the job, you know what I mean? Or
Right.
there's some shortfalls that we need to beef up on the thing. I think there is a way to cover this thing at less than $268 a year.
Yes, and that's
There is a
exactly,
way.
that's exactly my point. And I made this phone call, but I haven't heard back yet. I think the town of Concord would certainly be interested also. So that's all our municipalities around here that are willing to help us out, or we can work something together with them. And I think it's gonna be a lot cheaper than we can get from Lake LaBelle. Okay. And the thing about it is that maybe we don't need a full-time person, but if people know that somebody's up here, it's the presence, okay? So right away, you got 2/3 of what people might think they wanna do. They're like, oh, you know, there's somebody patrolling up there. Do they know when he's patrolling? No. But if you don't have a presence, well, then it's kinda like Lawless. If the guy's an hour away before he gets here, you know, they know that.
Yeah, well, hopefully the
You don't,
criminals
they
don't.
say that,
Yeah.
you know, they tell that to everybody, hey, well, it's gonna be an hour before you can send a squad up there. You know, and they don't seem to be willing to have a car up here, so it's like, well, you know what, they'd be more than happy. There are borders over there, okay? And it's just a lot cheaper. They have the car, they have the people, and I think we should just sit and talk to them and see what we can come up with.
Well, I mean, whatever we do, that's a long ways off. We also have an option of having a referendum between fire and police and let the people decide what they want. I mean, there's lots of ways to skin this. My only concern was, and I mean, I made it very obvious before I left, a week before I left on vacation, that I was concerned about signing a 5-year contract.
It's not a long ways off. I can call both those guys up tomorrow and sit down with them if I need to.
But I'm just saying, Dan, there's insurances, there's
Okay.
all kinds of things.
They will tell us how they work their
I
program.
understand, but it
Okay?
takes
When
time
you
to-
ignore it, it's a long ways off. When you sit down with them and you get all the
Fine.
facts, we can sit and bring it together and see if it works. Can't shoo it off the table. We have to sit down and we have to start negotiating, see what they're gonna offer. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say
It's
that.
not gonna cost us a thing, it's not cost them a thing, but we're gonna get something together and see if we can if it would work for us.
I didn't say it was. I'm just trying to point out the 5-year contract. That's,
Oh, I understand it, and I know you're just scared of the 5-year contract, it's so far out there.
well, because it's a huge,
And I'm trying to find a solution to that, and that's why I'm going through this. And these people will be more than happy to sit down and show you how it works. It ain't gonna cost you a dime. And when they start giving me the figures of what they're paying, it's pretty obvious, well, I think you ought to sit down with them.
well, we were talking 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, okay?
We don't need that type of protection right
Okay,
now.
then that's fine. I'm just saying
But
that's.
we
what-
need something.
Well, we have something. It's just, you know, I mean,
It's not working,
well,
okay?
okay.
So that piece it's in the budget, but it's not in the levy, technically.
It's in the, yeah, it's not technically in the levy, it's in the budget.
Okay.
So again,
Oh.
you guys don't have, I mean, you can approve the budget the way it is,
Yeah.
but when, you know, if you guys don't sign a contract, that money's not gonna go anywhere.
It just stays there.
It stays there, and then at the end of the year, it'll go, you guys can then, designate it to what you want. You can say, we wanna put that whole thing to, police contract for future, or you wanna put a portion of it to ambulance, you know, I mean, you guys can
Yeah.
designate to however you wanna divvy it up. Or it just goes back into unrestricted fund balance.
It does not sound like we're ready to pull the trigger on a contract, either the county or the village, or the town of Lac LaBelle.
That's fine.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, it doesn't sound like we're there. I think there's a desire for it. But I think LaBelle, we go from zero or county service to full-blown service, and that may be too big of a jump initially.
Exactly.
Maybe so,
I think we should sit down and talk with these people and see what we can come up with.
yeah.
We just can't say, well, that's a long ways out.
Do
Well,
we
wait a
need a
minute,
motion
maybe
to
we
make
should sit
that
down and
happen?
talk to them and find out
Well,
what they're gonna
let's,
offer.
we gotta get a budget done,
Okay.
so the main thing is that we have to make a motion, then that we forego the contract with the county and with Village of Lac LaBelle.
I think we just have to approve what we've got, and then when that contract would come up, then we would decline it, or we would amend it or revise, whatever we would
Right.
choose to do.
Okay.
Right.
Is that, Amy, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
No, that's
I was
exactly.
gonna agree with that. We just leave it in, we approve the budget, and then we can do with it as we please, and maybe some of that money will go to the kind of contracts you're talking about,
Yeah,
Dan.
we'll find out what we can work out.
So I guess, you know, for me, I would like to have some type of direction to let the Village of Lac LaBelle know, so that they don't go and, you know, hire
some-
anybody.
Yeah,
So to tell them that this is on
On
hold
Yes.
until further notice.
I would
Right,
call
Yeah,
it
I mean,
on
if they
hold.
could, if they have a contract, they could at least get that piece.
They did finally send that
They
over.
did, okay, good.
Yes, I got that, so,
Oh, 'cause-
Another thought, Joanne, when they call up, is maybe, the town of Ixonia is not ready to commit to $258,000 a year for everyday 8 hours police service times 5 years. We are not ready to move in that particular direction, and that is the truth. You know what I mean? And maybe they'll come up with a bright idea, you know, that I don't know about, nobody knows about. This might be the Cadillac version that they want.
Yeah, I've got,
And we're looking for the,
I've got one more phone call to make
Ford
to
Focus
a
is
person I
really
know
well.
on the board, and I know him really well.
Sorry,
And
you're
I
driving.
think he would be willing to talk about it. I know he would. And I could tell him, our position, and I think he might be able to work something out with them, okay?
Would-
I'm
would-
here to help,
Would
okay?
they give you something in writing that you could bring here?
Yes, he probably would. I haven't
Okay.
had time to make that phone call yet, so.
I
I
think,
thought, well, I'm giving everybody a chance to see what they
Yeah.
can do, okay? And if we do nothing, well, yeah, that's gonna be forever. But we have to do something, we have to start somewhere, and we have to put it all down so we can see what's gonna work best for town of Ixonia right now, so.
well, I don't know how we do this, but I think we should authorize Danny to pursue those
police
Well, I'll negotiate with these people,
conversations.
I'll get all this paperwork from them,
And then, yeah.
and then I can bring it back to everybody and see what you guys
There's-
decide and which one.
so there's nothing on the agenda to do that,
Oh,
No,
so,
right now,
I'm not,
Right.
oh.
Right now
I
it's
didn't make a
strictly-
motion.
well, it's not something on the agenda that you can make a motion about.
I wasn't making a
Oh,
motion.
okay,
I
well-
was just trying to get a consensus.
Dan is going to do that, and then he'll say, I have this, and then we get it on the agenda.
Right,
That
yeah.
would be the proper order.
Correct.
He has his stuff done, and then we need to witness and hear it, and discuss it.
So that way we know what we're talking about, how their system works. And they said, you have any questions, we'd be more than happy to
okay,
help.
we've got a
Everyone's
whole
helpful.
budget
Okay,
to get through, so.
But are we in agreement that Danny should pursue these lines of inquiry?
He's gonna do that unofficially, and then.
yeah,
When he gets the
unofficially.
results, then we'll make.
When I got it all ready to go, then you can do the motion thing.
I'm not making a motion, I'm
Okay.
just trying to get a agreement.
Okay, so for right now, the direction to the sheriff's department and Village of Lake LaBelle is we're on hold.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I would say yes.
Okay, we know where to go with that. Now, I guess, you wanna tackle wages, or what do we wanna tackle next?
You know, we've looked at them, I've looked at them compared statewide, you know, and I think Jeff made a valid point. I think Calvin made a valid point last week, and I think Ben made valid points last week, so. I think we can support it based on comparatively, and the cost of losing an employee is so much greater than if we're just a touch above average, or if we're, you know, wherever we're at in the spectrum. If, I just felt if we could support the request, if there's not a problem. But we didn't have anything, that was the frustrating part for me, I guess. We just didn't have any backup information as to why. And anytime something comes before the board financially, or any request at all, usually has supporting documents. So that was the frustrating part for me.
So the 5%,
I've had time to dig into it, and the averages, you know, where I've cut it, sliced and diced it 15 ways to Sunday.
yeah, I mean, I don't care, I mean, but that 5%, everybody's in favor,
I've never had a problem with that, so.
okay? The question comes in, what are you gonna do about the stipend? Towards the insurance, does that stay, go?
That would be gone.
So a concern I have with that is, it's my understanding that the employees made a decision on their health care with information regarding that stipend. And
No, their decision for the health insurance was before the stipend.
before discussions about
Yeah.
the stipend, okay.
Yeah.
Is that right? That's not what we heard.
That's not how the majority of the employees took it when we had the meeting here.
There was no talk of any stipend when everybody said what they wanted for insurance. All we were gonna say is what we could do to try to offset it, where if a 5% raise, I don't know. But a stipend is a slippery slope, because if we can't maintain it next year, now you're gonna take it away. I mean, the raise is a 5% raise, it's a guarantee.
I think what was said was, it'd be kinda hard to justify an 8% increase. So let's do a 5% and a stipend is what was said at the time.
That would have been in later discussion, but not in that room back there that day.
And that, well, it was taken as because it was presented at the budget workshop and there wasn't any objections. A lot of them had to make their decision by the 31st of October on what health plan they chose, so.
So the budget workshop you're talking about was with the staff, not ours, because ours
No.
was only 2 weeks ago.
Ours was before.
You're talking about the one on
Yeah,
on
okay.
10/21, the budget workshop on 10/21.
Okay, that we weren't there.
No, we were there, that was here.
We were
No.
all there.
Yeah, Vicky was the only one, Vicky was away that day, but four of you guys were there.
Yeah, Rick missed that meeting, but.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I'm
my-
not,
That's my only concern about your point about removing it in its entirety. I don't think that's a fair
At this point.
look at it. I think, I do agree with you, Brian, it's an extremely slippery slope. Because not only are we offsetting a increase that everybody in the world is faced with, we may not be able to cover it next year. Or we may not cover it next year, or if something new were to come up, how would we address that? Those are my concerns.
I would, if we do anything, I would like to see us do something partial. I mean, nobody gets their health insurance covered 100%. Okay, I mean, so I'm not opposed to helping people out, but, okay, we have to look at what reality is. I mean, we're supposed to be representing the people here. They're looking at the fact is, they're maybe getting a 2% raise or 3%, and their insurance and everything went up. Okay, I'm not opposed to the 5%, and I'm not opposed to helping partial, but if we create 100%, what are we gonna do next year? You know, they're gonna come back and say, well, you did it last year, well, was it right? I don't know.
It's not 100% of the health insurance, that's only covering the increase that is.
It's 100% covering the increase,
Of the increase.
of the increase, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Well,
And
what percentage are you thinking about?
I thought if we did 50%, I think that's pretty generous. I,
50% of what?
the stipend would be 50% of their increase in their health insurance that we would offer.
So as we talk about that type of thing and the salaries or the increases, what would it take to look at implementing some sort of a merit-based program within the town, the staff? And I guess what I go back to is, as a manager of, 100 people, that's what I used. That was my tool to motivate people. So I don't know if that's been viable. I know there's some exposure pieces to it, but I just don't know enough about it on a municipal level. But I think there are aspects that we could implement. I think we talked about the tenure of the employee as a possible deciding piece for the merit raise or for the increases, but I just don't know how we can incorporate all of that in together. Is there a way to do it?
Well, I think everybody here works hard, and I think everybody has pride, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be fighting for what they're fighting for at the budget. Okay, I mean, they wouldn't be fighting for the equipment and all the stuff to do their job. I think everybody does a great job, and we're pretty small for that, and it could get pretty political, and I wouldn't, truthfully, let it be known, I would rather do like a 7% raise and skip the stipend altogether. Because then it's just straightforward, okay, here we are. Next year we look at next year as a total brand new year, other than that's their wage. That's my personal opinion. I don't like the stipends because they come, they go, you get a different board, the board might think differently, and now there the people sit. Where here, this is a guaranteed wage, they have it this year, they have it next year, and they have it the year after.
So would this be treated as like a bonus from tax purposes, Joanne? This stipend?
You can't do bonuses.
Okay, but would it be treated from a tax base like that?
If you do the merit,
No, the stipend.
the
or
stipend, it's a stipend, so it's a taxable wage.
Okay, so it is treated like a bonus.
You guys call it bonuses, yes.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
that's what you wanna call
you
it.
tax the whole amount as in one paycheck, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if we give, whatever raise we give them,
Yeah.
that they bank on, they got it this year, they bank on it next year. If they start banking on this stipend and next year it goes away, that puts them in a bigger hardship than they are now.
Well, that's why with anything that we do give, we make it clear what the exact outlay is gonna be, that this is a once and done deal.
I understand, Rick, but you start living off of it, okay? I mean, it's just a fact of life. I mean, people start living off overtime.
Yeah.
I mean-
Well, Brian's-
And that's why,
Rick's agreeing with you on the stipend.
Yeah.
Ma'am, but that's why I believe we're better off with the wage than the stipend
The percentage-wise.
Yeah,
percentage.
the only downside to that is then the next increased basis is on the old, so I mean, it's actually more than that, so, I mean, you build off of that every year, so.
yeah.
It's up to you guys. I mean, I'm just presenting ideas.
Do we have to do anything within the adjusting the budget?
The stipend's already in the budget.
Yep.
So if you do if you change the percentage of your increase, we'd have to make sure that it fits within what it's like $36,000,
The stipend was,
the stipend.
I saw 40, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's 36,000 is what was put in the budget for the stipend,
So any raises overall would have to not exceed that amount.
correct?
So do we do that? Up to $36,000. We don't know what that percentage would be.
No, because they also have to take it into account that you've got, FICA and
Yeah.
WRS,
Yep.
Right.
so,
You could figure it out, but take you a little bit.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna be able to throw out a number right now.
1.72.
4 plus 4 is 8.
So did you wanna figure it that way?
We could look at it that way.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like going down the road of offsetting cost of living expense increases.
Do you wanna take that and divide it up between everybody, basically? The
It's flat,
percentage,
that's the way
whatever
it's,
it comes
that's
out
the way
to as far as
that's the way the
percentage-wise.
base is done, so I don't think you'd wanna do it any differently.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
we don't know what that percentage is exactly right now.
We do not.
If we crunch it.
We'd have to crunch the numbers, but we would consider it up to the amount that we've set aside for the stipend.
Right.
I think we should have the wage increase as a separate item. And then if we choose to do a stipend, that is a separate item. And it would be a once and done deal. Not a continuation that next year we need to increase the stipend because the cost of this goes up, the cost of that goes up. You know, there's always going to be something that's gonna cause, you know, I need more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just so everybody's aware that, hey, this is a one-time thing, and that's it.
Yeah,
Is what
and so I think the stipend should, if we're gonna go in that direction, on the side, as a one item only this year, period. Not with any thought that this is a continuation that goes on every year for whatever the reason is.
And the argument about building it in as a raise, as a percentage of a raise, is to alleviate that concern.
Right.
Now, we're not giving them anything based
Yes.
on cost of living increase or insurance increase. We're giving them based on, we're giving them a raise.
A raise,
7%
yeah.
raise, or
They get taxed on it
seven and a
anyway,
quarter percent
right.
raise, whatever it turns out to be. Up
Ins-
to that 36 that we've set aside,
Instead of the stipend,
instead of the stipend, because now we're not opening that door.
right.
I like that.
So-
And then,
I mean, that's your view. I agree.
Then next year's, you know,
Your thought.
everybody's base is higher.
It is.
And then in reality, whatever percent is a much higher percent
Yeah.
because of what took place.
And agreed. I know that is the downside. I get that.
I understand there's
Yeah.
downsides,
Yeah.
but, I mean, right now, I think it's a positive fact. If you don't have people here, we can't do a service. You can buy a truck, but you can't buy people. Okay, so if we pay our people well, they stay, we're money ahead. Otherwise, you'd spend money training people, then equipment gets wrecked, things don't get done right. So I have no problem paying people, but I don't like giving them something and then taking it away. I don't like that because people live on it, just like they live on overtime. So,
Well, that could be a motion. Cause wages is on our agenda.
Right.
In that resolution.
Yep.
So, Brian, you could make a motion to that.
I make a motion that we give them a raise of 5% plus whatever the 36,000 would change it to,
Percentage point. that comes out.
percentage point wise. Okay, so if it's 7% or 6.8 or whatever it would be. So that way the money that we have budgeted would be used, but it would all be in raise
Yeah.
and no stipend.
Okay, but the thought that I wanna bring to our attention as the board is,
I have a motion on the table, so I need a second, and then you
Second.
guys, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Now, is there any other discussion?
yes. So, say I have the single coverage plan, and there's 3 employees, I believe, that do have that, okay? Their increase is gonna just be, I'm gonna say $1,500 for, I'm just doing some rounding. And then you have, and 6 other people, or 6 total, have the family coverage plan. And let's just say that increase is $3,000, okay? So, yeah, I guess you could say, well, I'm getting shorted because I'm on the single plan. And you're getting a benefit because you're on the family plan. That's why I think this stipend, if we do go with this, is a once and done deal on the side, then you're just not having that effect to it.
The stipend is not in the motion.
Well, it's included in reality.
Now, the
No,
motion is,
It's been
The
turned
motion
into a percentage
Is into the raise, to the percentage.
of their wage.
Of their wage.
So everybody will get something different,
Uh-huh.
But
because
yeah,
everybody's paid different.
Yeah.
I get what you mean, but you're not comparing you know, a single person versus a married person, that's not apples to
It
apples.
has nothing
okay?
to do with the cost of insurance.
Yeah.
No.
I would venture a guess the single payer, the person that's single payer is probably a younger employee that's at a lower scale anyway.
And he's gotta go home and cook his own meals.
Right,
so.
right, right. But that's just like insurance. If you're single, you get, you know, less than you are, you know, it's
But-
just. the system.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Yeah, I just wanna make another point. This way of doing this also solves our, question we had kind of hanging out there about what to do about people who do not take the insurance.
Correct.
At all.
It makes it straight.
So it treats everybody the same,
Yep.
and I like that about it too.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Everyone in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, Rick was the only nay. Okay, motion carries. Okay, so we pretty much have police protection done, we have wages and everything done, I guess. The thing is, do you wanna stay with the $100,000 out of the blacktop, or you wanna put that in? Where do you wanna be?
Well, you already motioned to take that out, so you'd have to
Yeah.
like do a motion
Yeah.
to,
I made the motion to take it out.
Okay, and then,
so you'd have
And
to
it-
amend, you'd have to amend that motion.
What if I just made a motion to put it back in?
You can do that.
I'm gonna make a motion to put it back in then.
Second.
That's $100,000 for
Blacktop.
blacktopping project behind the highway shop building
and some in front, by the fire.
and some in front. Okay.
You like that, Sheriff?
Yeah, I do, I like it better.
Do we have a second?
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Hearing-
Ben, is that something that needs to get done like right away? Or is this gonna be springtime? Just a question.
It'd be a summertime project,
Next summer?
along with the road work is when it'll
Okay.
probably be done.
So worked in with the regular
Yeah.
road thing? Okay, thank you.
Okay, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. What else are we gonna, I mean, the broom was part of it, that can stay, that was always part of the budget.
We didn't.
Yeah.
The trench culvert, or the trench,
I think that should stay, it's a safety precaution thing.
It is. It is.
the only part I question about is, do we have a business digging that deep and putting people down there, because we have highway guys, we're not really trained in that, are we better off, once we go so deep, to hire?
We all have our trench safety certificates in confined space. We've all taken the safety course.
And that was my only concern about it last time, was just our exposure with it. Are we,
Insurance-wise, yeah.
are we outside the box in that?
Right,
And
right.
Ben assured us we're
You
not.
have to have
and that-
shoring if you're digging.
Yeah,
We'd have more exposure if we didn't have that safety.
well, we wouldn't do it.
We just
without-
wouldn't go there.
Yeah, you would contract it out, which is
Certain
more
amount.
expensive.
But how do you gauge that? Sometimes you don't know. You can say, I'm gonna stop digging because most of the culverts aren't.
How deep it is, and that's how,
Right.
the depth and.
Okay, so do we have a motion?
Do we need a motion? It's
No,
in
we
the
didn't do,
budget.
we didn't touch that last time.
Okay, so then it stays.
So now we just need a motion to approve, adopt the the budget.
Well, you're not gonna adopt the resolution because you changed it again because of the wages, so,
Oh,
Right.
You gotta wait.
but the way we,
we'll put it on the next agenda.
no, the way we phrased it though, doesn't that allow you up to the 36?
Well, don't you don't wanna revisit that and see what it comes out to?
Of course
don't
we
know
do.
percentage yet.
Yes,
Okay.
we wanna see it,
What?
We don't know, we don't know what the percentage is yet.
No,
We're
but-
figuring it out.
and we wanna know the
Right.
dollar amount.
We do, 36,000.
We're
Spread
not,
out.
yeah,
Yeah, but to split up, to each individual wage, that's what Joanne is
Yeah,
going to
she'll
do
run
for
the
us.
total, she'll run
Yeah.
the total wages, divide it out, and then there'll be a percentage assigned to it.
Yeah, we don't know what that is yet.
No,
Yeah.
but does it matter?
Well,
I can't go over
we'd
36,000.
Like to
She's
review
capped
it.
the way we
Well, that's
phrased-
true.
The
Well,
way
yeah,
we
exactly.
phrased it,
If
it
you
was
don't,
capped
you
at
know, just the
36,000.
amount, state the amount is 36,000 and then forget the percentage.
Yeah, we don't need to know.
Yeah,
I
you don't
mean,
need
we
to come
can-
back for it, right?
No, we don't need to come
Want to get rid of
back.
the
so then
percentage, just,
you can adopt the resolution.
With the changes.
With the changes.
Changes.
Yeah, move to adopt the resolution for the 2025 8-8, is that?
Yep.
2026 budget with the changes as noted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt the 2025-8, 2026 budget. Is there any more discussion?
Well, I was looking over the worksheet. Is this still a viable option to discuss this, Brian? Or is this
What's
closed?
this?
This worksheet? 'Cause
No, that's what we're approving.
yeah, okay, I
With
have,
changes that have been talked
I
about.
have some questions. Would this be an appropriate time to ask?
Well, either that or there will be no discussion.
Right, okay.
Wait 1 second, Ben,
Are you
Yeah.
dividing the,
Then it asked.
for the 36, are you dividing that by all with part-time and full-time, or just between the full-time for the,
well, part-time don't get insurance.
okay, I just wanted to know.
So the insurance part of it would be with full-time.
Okay,
How many full-time do we have?
That's a good question, and I was thinking about the same thing, because on our list are election workers and,
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
people like that.
Insurance
So,
eligible, do we have to stipulate
We're
to?
talking about full-time people.
Okay.
Full-time, doesn't matter insured or not.
Right.
What else, I mean,
Okay. There's just some numbers that I have questions on. Page 1, public charges for services, about the 6th line down. Let me get my ruler out so I can follow this
No.
myself.
You only have one page.
Fire
It should be
inspection
page one.
fees.
You're on page
Calvin, we have a minus 2,660.
Oh,
I'm just
I got it.
puzzled
Yeah, yeah.
how fees can be minus. Any comment on that?
It has to do with, last year we charged too much for some fire inspections
Yeah.
stuff. So, it'll all even out at the end of the year, but some people paid in advance. They got double billed last year, so they're carrying over the
I got my
credits.
numbers here, so I can.
okay,
Okay.
well, not to be rude, Rick, but
Yeah.
we're not gonna go line by line on this whole worksheet, because the thing is, we did that. We already did that, and we had a quorum.
Uh-huh,
I mean, I realize you couldn't make it, but,
yeah.
I mean, we did have a quorum, and we did go line by line.
I think we can afford Rick a couple of minutes.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, why do we,
I know.
Well, there might be something here that could surprise you looking at this thing that I'm gonna bring to your attention. You know, were you aware of this very thing? That it's a back bill
yes,
issue? Okay,
yes.
I don't know. if-
Well, see,
yeah,
that's why we had that work day, and
Sure,
you weren't here,
uh-huh,
but we did have a quorum.
sure. I noticed that the rent UD1 and UD2 office, there's some zeros
Yes,
on
that's-
year-to-dates,
That's because the auditors do the adjusted entries at the end of the year.
okay?
So that will be all taken care of when I get those.
It's not line by line, just for information.
What number do you have?
Yeah.
There's numbers on the side, Rick, you can just tell us what numbers
Pardon?
they There's numbers on the side, you can just say what number you're looking
Okay.
at.
Sure.
Be on the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Just adding.
Okay, second to last page. 100-50-56700-220000.
Yeah.
What's this?
Electric,
What's this? This is easier for us.
okay,
What's the number?
346.
All right, got it.
Okay, sorry, thank you. We had some zeros in on electric. I just was wondering how we had numbers before, and then we got reduced down to 0, and now we're back to numbers again on the 2026 budget. How could, you know, a year of electricity just go to zeros?
Dave, this is the transfer site.
Looking at it right now. There aren't any zeros in there, it's $1,300.
I think he's talking about the year-to-date.
2025.
I'm talking about 2025 approved budget, 0. 2025 year-to-date,
Yeah.
0. Was there no electricity used for,
That would be an accounting issue, that wouldn't have anything to do with me. Because at this
point in time, let's see here. We had a projection of $1,300 for electric last year, for 2025. Our projected for 25 is $1,950. So it has been a county issue.
Okay,
Yeah, so
But
apparently,
We've been paying it because I've been
It's a
still
small
out
amount.
so
okay.
every month.
it just means that it got allocated to the wrong line item. So it's just a matter of us looking at the bills and figuring out where it went and then getting it into the right spot.
Back to the right area.
And then, going, the last one, I believe, is Parks Fuel, 331, line 331, Parks Fuel.
332.
Yeah,
Or-
No,
I-
332.
332.
I'm looking at 331, but maybe the lines are changing on different. And the category is Parks plural fuel.
Yep.
I see that we're generally around $4,000 for fuel, and I haven't ever noticed it gone down, significantly lately. And then I look at year-to-date, 2025, and I see $490. I don't know how that could really fit in. That's just an observation.
It probably hasn't been changed yet, so the parks pull the fuel out of the tanks by the highway shop, and I send out the amounts for it, and
Okay, but right now, we're in the month of November. I mean, several quarters have transpired.
It's actually September.
Okay.
September's actually, yeah.
I'm just bringing it up as a question, you know what I mean? All of this was covered, but I had questions.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing,
That's fine.
bringing it up. So it needs to get worked on and reviewed.
Yep.
Okay, alrighty. Those are the things that I noticed that kind of stood out, Brian.
Okay,
Don't you have any more? You're supposed to go line by line.
Well, I could go on with a few more, but I'm gonna
Don't-
just.
no, no,
just-
no,
I'll
don't.
just let it be. These were the significant ones.
just, don't aggravate them.
I could have a private meeting with you if you like.
You will.
Okay, we had a motion and a second to adopt the resolution for the 2025 and
Yes, 8.
No, you did not vote.
-8 and 2026 budget. I had a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. We're past that. Okay, discussion and possible action to approve Utility District 1 2026 budget.
Yep, that's the,
Are these current, Joanne? More current?
UD one.
there's only 2 pages, Brian, per,
There's no changes, right, from these?
no, you want another one?
Yeah. Just UD one and two.
This is, no, UD2 is in that pile.
We do them independently? We move to approve them independent?
You can do whatever you want. Brian, did you want this one too? This is UD2.
I mean, we did go line by these, and
I will move to approve the Utility District 1 2026 budget.
You second it?
I have a motion and a second to approve the 2026 budget for Utility 1. Any other discussion? Jeff?
I thought maybe we'd talk about the wage a little bit. I brought it up earlier. I was kind of serious. I mean, you had Joanne put away $10,000 for the next operator. That's kind of a kick in the nuts. I mean, ain't I worth at least that? I mean, 80 cents more than a operator in the highway shop. That's what you're paying me, 80 cents more. I cited off a whole list of things I'm responsible for. That when this operator goes home at night, he ain't got a phone glued to his ear 40 weekends out of the year or 341 days out of the year. There's a lot of things that are responsible for holding that operator's license. I'm not only an operator, and for that $10,000 raise that you're giving the next operator. I'm only taking 6 months of that, so there's gonna be 6 months left for the next guy. That's what I'm asking for.
Well, we don't know if the 10,000 is what we're giving them or not. We don't even know if that'll cover it or not cover it or whatever. It was just,
Well, 80 cents more than your,
okay, Jeff, all I'm saying is, we had to pick a number to put in the budget. Okay, so we can't just say here, well, it's a number we threw in the budget, so now we're gonna hand it to you. Okay, I mean, I guess this was probably a consideration or review that should have come up long before this point.
That's what
I thought I was gonna have time to talk about it. I didn't know that my budget wages were approved in the general tax levy. This is a totally different, budget here.
I get what you mean, but it's, we haven't
Tell you
given,
what, here's what I did the math. The, 5%, the 5% comes out to $4.80 an hour, or I'm sorry, the, $5,000, or, the $10,000 raise. I'm only receiving 5,000 of that, it comes up to $4.80 an hour. Your 5% and possibly maybe 2 more percent, only comes up to like, 3 and change. I'm asking for 480. That puts that operator at a better rate than the next guy below the chain, which is the general laborer of the highway department.
are you looking at that 10,000 that hypothetically may be given to somebody else and hasn't been done yet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think we can do that, because if you look at it, and I can say, well, next guy that's gonna jump in here is gonna make 50,000 more than I am. I can't say, I think I want his wages now.
Right, you hypothetically can't say that.
Right.
I'm saying, you're gonna expect somebody to take that job for 80 cents more an hour when you can just be a laborer or go home every night and not worry about the phone booth is here?
Do I say that it's a slap in the face? No, I think you do a great job. It's not a slap in the face, but we can't hypothetically take this number and give it to you. I mean, I don't have a problem, but I think we just gave him a raise with the stipend, didn't we? Is he part of that?
Yeah.
The percentage increase.
I mean, we're trying to help everybody out here, but I mean, we can't go outside our parameters.
And then,
Well, and
I mean,
we
I'm not
also-
saying that, I mean, you're doing a great job,
This is
I'm
the
not,
time that you're supposed to be asking for these kind of things.
Oh,
It's too late for me, I'm retiring in 6 months. But it is not right to be an operator in charge with all that responsibility. I do 15 reports to DNR annually. I have, like I said, 10 lift stations I take care of, a plant, a septic receiving station, a fine screen. I need to have electrical background, biological, mechanical, computer. It doesn't stop there. You've got one operator that won't get into a lift truck, and he's getting paid 80 cents less than me. That's not right.
why would, yeah, like we said, why wasn't this brought up sooner? I
that-
mean,
that's
I
why,
thought this
that's-
is my opportunity to bring it up, budget
Okay.
here.
yeah.
Whoa,
We never got to mine when it came to it last time. You guys tabled everything after the discussion, you couldn't get nowhere with, the, general budget.
during our budget workshop, we went through the UD one
Yeah.
budget line by
At that
line.
point, I was unaware of the $10,000 that was put in here. I was unaware of the fact, I didn't get the sheet until just recently showing what the wages that were, showing where the,
But at that.
we don't know that that's what we're gonna spend, Jeff. All we have to,
I'm talking about now, what you're paying an operator, and what you're paying a general laborer in the highway department, and you're paying a skilled operator at the wastewater treatment plant.
this should have come up when you guys were in your workshops.
Yeah, we
I
can't
but
hear
didn't
the,
see this spreadsheet of the wages until this first budget meeting. That just came out. Because those were the numbers that Joanne put down on paper with the approval of, original budget workshop, 5.5 plus the stipend. That's when that report came out showing what everybody gets paid in the town.
Jeff, there was a, 2024 would have the same resolution, and 5% would have been the same added onto that.
Back in 2024, or was it 2023, you reevaluated everybody's wages in town except for the utility district.
I'll tell you what,
And everybody up to a certain point. I'm trying to do the same thing now.
I'll tell you what, Jeff.
We can't make
Anything I make
decisions.
here in the next 6 months, you can have.
I don't,
Does that make you happy?
stop.
You know, I
No,
think
we're-
we're trying to work it out with you, but I don't think we can at this point. I wish it could have been brought up sooner, and maybe we could have did something.
We included in the budget $95,000 for a new full-time fire chief. We don't know if we're going to be paying that much.
Right.
That's the top of the range for that position.
And the same what we did with the plant operator for the utility district. We had to put a dollar in, so we had some money to work with.
Yes,
And
it's
that's
a
probably
number.
And that's
the
all
top
we
of the
did.
range.
That's not a number that we're giving somebody.
Right.
It might be, but we don't know. I mean, somewhere you had to start.
I'm sorry it confused you, but I don't think it was in there for that purpose of say that it's a slap in the face to you, it's something that we had to put in.
We value some mythical new hire $10,000 more than we value you. That's not it at all.
That's it,
It's an,
absolutely not.
it's an
What
abundance.
happens after I'm.
I know, but it's an
I'm
ab-
speaking to me right now.
I understand.
This is what I would like to see happen.
Yeah.
It's okay for the next guy down the road, because
Well, it's not,
obviously gonna have to come to that.
it's not necessarily okay for the next guy to own. We put it in the budget that way as an abundance of caution. That's a max.
He may not get it.
He may not, he may get the 10,000 less. We
Yeah.
don't know.
He may not even get it.
Did we vote on the MD1?
So,
Well, if evaluations were done 2 years ago, Jeff, we didn't have the new plant. We had a whole different scale and a whole different operation.
Hired as an operator, Brian, you were on to this side, you worked this out, you hired me. At that point, you gave me a lot more than I was making as a general laborer in the highway shop. That number has drastically shrunk to nothing.
Well,
This is what I'm after. I'm after.
okay, I can't,
We have a motion on
yeah, we have a motion, I mean, we can't, I have a motion and a second, is there any other discussion to approve the utility,
What-
UD1,
Yeah, okay. I forgot what the motion was.
UD1.
to approve.
UD1?
Yeah.
UD1.
Let's vote.
All those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, discussion and possible action to approve utility district number 2, 2026 budget.
Is there a change?
Move to approve UD2, 2026 budget.
Second.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, discussion and possible action on Exonia Youth Baseball Agreement for 2026.
I believe you have the contract in front of you.
Yes.
Yes.
The major changes that we did was, in item 1, we did a better definition of property. Item number 3, we did a price increase. That was 3A. And 3C, we did a better definition of payment options. Item 4, we did a better definition of the hours. Item 5, we did a better definition of the date, or we changed the dates slightly. Paragraph number 6, we added the liability insurance to it. Paragraph number 7, we did a better definition of fire department rules requiring that no grills or propane is allowed in the building. And items 8 and 9, we did a better definition of the rules again as far as the supplies that they'd be utilizing.
And just to clarify, that's nights, right?
No, this is youth baseball. The nights are coming up.
He's talking about nights though.
Oh,
Well, yeah, they're both the same. The
They're-
only difference is, item one in the property definition is
Yeah.
the nights, where the youth didn't have a change in the property definition.
And they had two was, so your numbering is a little off, because two is season,
Okay.
season outlined.
I didn't realize that the numbers
Yeah.
changed. one.
The numbers changed, so that, he was kinda quoting off of the, Knights
I was,
contract.
yes.
yeah.
So,
But youth is the one we're
but
on our.
that's
We're
on the
looking at
agenda,
right
we
now,
can,
yeah.
since he's talking to Knights, we can do Knights first, though.
Yeah. Oh,
I guess, you know, they're both the same other than the actual fee. What,
The fee is
the
actually
fee
the
is
same.
the same.
well, the fee will be the same if we agree to it.
Yes.
I mean, but that's an awful increase to youth baseball.
So I would move to approve the Exonia Knights baseball agreement for 2026.
Second.
We're out of line on the agenda,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Okay,
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve, the budget for the Knights baseball for 2026. Any discussion?
That also is an increase, isn't it, Peter? But a
Yes, it
small
is.
one?
From 75 to
Okay.
105.
Okay.
Okay, that's the motion's about.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Now, we'll go back to youth baseball.
Was there any discussion at the Park and Rec Board about phasing in the increase in fees over, I don't know, 5 years or something?
There was.
And what was the
Yeah,
argument
it's-
not to do that?
The argument was that we wanted to be fair with charging the same for the Knights as we do Exonia baseball. That's really what it came down to.
And,
Both will be charged at 105.
I'd like to interject. One of our members on the board is heavily involved with the youth.
Knights.
And a question that I asked, do you think to that person that this is fair, the Exonia change of rates?
You mean on the Park and Rec Board?
Yeah,
Somebody was involved.
exactly,
Yeah.
before we got together and discussed it
Uh-huh.
at our meeting. And that person said, yes, he does think it's fair, and he does think that they are able to pay that fee.
But he's involved with the Knights, he's not involved
The youth.
with the youth.
The guy,
The
gentleman
guy
on the
that you
board.
got your information from.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
Is so,
correct. He works with the Knights, yes.
yeah, so he worked with the Knights, so obviously, he's saying, but my understanding was the Knights is more of a traveling team, and the youth baseball is more of a local team that doesn't travel.
Well, they travel.
Well, but more, the Knights do more traveling, but, so that was why and if we neglected to follow through, I kinda thought that was shame on us, and we should step it. Like 50% this year, and then next year go to,
Well,
that was my only thought, that's,
6 years ago, Exonia baseball requested that their fee stayed the same
6
for
years.
5 years. And the board approved that at that time.
And what was that amount again?
1,500 a year.
Oh, yeah, that's it, that was
Was it
it.
15?
Or
yeah,
1,500?
1,500 a year.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, the 105 that we're increasing both of these two is really just an offset to the efforts being put forth by the town, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And-
We
just to clarify.
went through
Andrew,
Yep.
Andrew
Yeah.
had
in
given
detail
us,
I just wanted-
on
yeah, he
what
had
it
given us
cost.
figures on what it costs for
No, I
him
know.
to do this.
I just wanted to clarify
Yeah.
that. That was my understanding, and I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah,
So,
and so this is what it's costing us.
thank you.
So what are they paying
Yeah,
now?
and Andrew did a very good job of itemizing out how much that he used.
So what are they paying now versus our increase?
They're paying 1,500 now,
A year
and their
for-
increase will go to what, $9,600?
$9,600.
Because they're doing about,
Now-
what, 90 games?
When we originally agreed to that 5 years ago, they were playing half the games that they are playing today.
Okay,
There was half the amount of kids in that
okay.
group.
Do they know an increase is in the wind? Does the youth?
Yes.
And to Brian's point, I think think they can handle it at some point. I hate to shock the system. I don't know what their budgets look like. I don't know what, it's a huge increase,
Well,
right?
They can always come back to the board and just say, we can't handle that, and you can negotiate with them at that point.
Well, part of the reason for parks is for youth, okay? And part of the reason we have the parks, and parents pay taxes for the parks, and, I mean, builders come in, new homes are assessed, you know, for parks and stuff. I mean, I realize, you know, somewhere we have to charge for our materials and stuff, but I don't wanna see the park sitting empty because we've priced certain people out of them. Because then instead of playing baseball, they start throwing rocks and you know, well, I mean,
But these costs are over and above the maintenance of our building, the cutting of the grass,
Yep.
okay,
maintaining our parking lots.
if that's what everybody feels is fine, I don't approve or agree, but.
My concern is that we haven't done anything for 5 years, and I guess the question we had, you weren't here, but was, why have we not looked at this? You've just clarified that
Yes,
for us, that was an agreement.
The board at that time agreed to
Okay.
the 5-year.
It's a long time to wait.
Yeah, it could have been rising
Could have been yearly.
incrementally.
Well, I guess
And
what
our
we
fault
should have done
really is, we should have been charging per game, like we do the nights.
Yeah.
And that was.
that would have solved
It
the
was
problem.
always that way with, Exonia baseball, and
And I think the
I
fact
did
that,
not pursue
the
to
fact
change
that they exceeded that 40 games or 42 games or whatever, the first year they did, probably would have given us cause to go back and say, hey, this isn't
Yeah.
what we agreed to.
we should have written a number of
Woulda, coulda,
games
shoulda,
in
yep,
that
I got you.
contract or something.
So we're double now, basically, than what they used to.
Pretty close, right, Andrew?
And none of this is lost on them. I mean, they know what they've got.
Right, and, someone brought up, I don't remember who it was, brought up on the donations that they gave. Well, all the donations they gave, they are directly benefiting for utilizing those
But they're
items that
structural,
donated.
they're not gonna take away.
But the Knights are using them too.
Yeah, everybody is.
No, cause they're all at Ski Slide.
But they also did the dugouts at Ski Slide and stuff, right?
They did the dugouts at Ski Slide. I don't think they donated for the dugouts at. Exonia Youth Baseball did?
Yep.
Okay.
There's one variation, I think Carl brought it up, whoever it is, about that they've committed certain things, and when you're talking about fairness between the youths and the Knights don't do that, haven't done that, so,
They've done some things to help improve, and then you gotta kinda recognize that
You
in a
do.
way.
yeah. But I didn't realize we just agreed not to do anything for 5 years.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sweet deal for them.
Well, they can always come back to this board and say, we can't sign this agreement, let's renegotiate.
Or some of the kids will just drop out.
Or their leaders can come back to this board and
Well,
say, some of
that's-
the kids might drop out if this costs as much.
Or should we try a lower figure and see what kind of response we get? I mean, yeah, it's gonna tell you right
I
away.
think you outline what the cost is. And
Yes.
that we give them that up front and say it will be, to Brian's point, 50% this year, 50% next year.
Right,
Yep.
that's what I mean. Don't do
step
all the
program.
But don't try and hide it. Say
Don't
this
do
is-
100%, but say,
No,
hey, we're gonna
you
go
know,
50.
give them, this is what will be your cost in 2 years, and step it, and then it kinda makes up for things we didn't do right, and kinda gives them a chance to put their program together.
But we, on the board, have decided that in all fairness, these should be treated the same, correct, Peter?
Right.
That's what we had talked about, we discussed, we voted on it and approved it. So we believe in being fair. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Why change that when the Park and Rec has worked on this for several meetings on this very point and discussed it heavily?
Because the youth has donated things to, and you gotta kinda compliment them for it. That's the only reason why.
think
If
they're-
they didn't donate anything, then I could say, yes, it's
They're
even.
more of a community.
And, the Knights didn't do that, so you gotta go, hey, you know what? You gotta kinda
That's
give
how
them
you
credit for
differentiate.
that.
That's how you differentiate.
That's why. But if that
Plus-
wasn't a donation, it's like, yeah, okay, I get that. But it's not really even because they are donating and the other ones aren't.
We're gonna get them even, it's just,
Yeah,
Yes.
it'll take an extra year.
Take time. Look how long we've been sitting here for 5 years and it should have been increased.
Yeah.
So are we losing? We lost more in 5 years than we are gonna lose in 1, so
Yeah.
let's just do it for 1 year and then they'll
let's
know
do a
the next
step
year.
program and,
Yes.
Yeah. And that's something we should probably look at, the use tax or whatever you wanna call it,
Yeah.
annually. You know, have that effort put forth, this is what it costs, or maybe just add 5% or whatever cost, you know.
Well, just tell them, hey, this is what we should get, but we can't do that all at once. We're gonna give you the 50%, and this is what's gonna happen next year, so we can get back in the line, because of being that it was 5 years of basically,
No increase.
So you're talking about phasing it in over only 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
2 years, yeah,
Okay.
do the 50%, and
So
then,
26 and 27.
Yeah, that's still gonna be quite an increase for,
It is,
Yep.
but I
they'll be
think,
prepared for it.
right,
I
I don't
they make it,
disagree.
they make it caught off guard a little bit this year, but next year they'll have time to
Yeah.
budget accordingly.
yeah. And I think the Knights can see that, you know, we're trying to step it up and get it
Yeah.
the same, and,
And they did have a 5-year gift.
kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, but they also,
I
the
know,
scoreboard and dugouts
I
and,
know.
I mean, it all helps.
$1,500 for a year.
I know. They had excess
And then
money.
you go to almost 10, that's a big difference.
Great. I mean, we did it, we wanted them here, I don't fault us for doing it, but the cost of keeping it up and.
Okay, well, we can keep going forever. We have a motion and a second.
No,
Nope.
I don't have a motion
No,
in a second
okay.
on this one.
So we,
Okay, so do we have a motion for youth baseball?
I would move to approve the Exonia Youth Baseball Agreement for 2026 with the following change. The increase to 105, how could we do that?
Cut it in half.
Just cut it in half?
Yeah, it comes out to 45-25 if you
I
want to
would
total.
say that you should at least go 75 that the Knights were paying last year.
So are we gonna go on a total amount, or are we gonna go on,
Well, the amount currently, the cost.
You wanna go per game,
Yeah,
so you're gonna go on a per game
per
basis?
game.
per game,
So-
cause that solves all the,
Yeah, I think it'd be more reasonable what Peter has brought to the board. Let's just say $75 per game for this next year, and then full price the following
What are we
year.
paying this
Yeah,
year?
That would be close.
What's this year right now? What's the past year, I mean, per game? What was it?
It's just 15.
For the
Knights
Knights, it
were
was
paying
$75.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Knights were paying 75.
75?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
went to 105, and the other one, youth
So-
was at
That's what I'm
1,500
saying, you should at
annually.
least go.
50?
Yeah,
100 annually for all games,
Yeah.
and now we're taking them to
So-
105. So I was in the middle of a motion.
No, no,
Well,
I get
I
that,
think-
but we're gonna cut it in half.
Was it, what was your motion again?
My motion was to approve the agreement, the 2026 agreement with youth baseball, with the following change. And then the world came apart.
Okay.
What is it?
What
It is
is it?
to, and that's what I was trying to ask Joanne, how that should be, how that, we should do that, to change to $60 this year.
Now you're going to 60?
60?
60? You were at 75.
I wasn't, these guys were.
yeah.
Oh,
Before you make your motion.
decide on a number.
I
Figure
was-
out what you're gonna do
I-
and then
so
let's make a
My
motion.
question is,
So
what are we
let's start
paying
with
now
75,
without this increase?
What are they paying now?
1,500 a year.
So
for the whole
1,500 a
season.
season. So
Yes.
divide 1,500 by
90.
95 or whatever.
How many
it is.
games?
91 games.
91 games.
Okay. That's not very much.
No, peanuts.
15 bucks.
15 bucks, yeah.
So, okay,
Still pe-
I'll concede the planning
95.
commission, or
Yeah.
Park and Rec at $75, with the balance of $30 initiated, the increase of 30, to increase again 30 next year,
Next
for
year.
2027.
Okay.
Is that properly phrased?
Then you're up to $65?
No, 75
Oh, okay.
plus 30,
It's 105.
thank you.
Instead of 105, we're doing 75.
Yes, I'm not gonna squabble over.
That
Okay.
was my question. with you.
75.
Well, they went 75. I was
Okay.
gonna go.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Just a comment.
No,
on
no,
that.
I need a
Can't
second.
comment.
Do I have a
Joe,
second?
Could somebody clarify the motion?
Yeah.
What, I,
Okay,
To approve the-
Motion is 75.
So-
year one is what?
I got Kester made a motion to amend the contract with the following change to increase the per baseball game fee to $75 for 2026.
Okay,
And then add $30 into it for 2027, making it $105 per game.
Additional increase in
got it.
2027.
Yes.
all right.
More than 50%.
Now, can I make a comment?
No, we need a second first.
You may not want to lock yourself into next year's price.
That's
because-
exactly.
Well, wait, I need a second.
Yeah.
Let's just,
All right, I'll second the motion.
okay,
Thank you.
now that I have a second, now do I have any more discussion?
And this is what I wanted to bring up, that what
Right.
Peter's.
Fine, now you
Yeah.
can.
His wage is going up by 5%,
Yeah.
and
So I mean, if
it's
we're,
not gonna be $40.
but if we're up by,
next year.
if we're up by 5% in 2027, 2028, that's not as big as the hump we're overcoming right now.
Right, but your motion is locking you into $105 for next year.
For
Yeah,
2026 and 2027.
For 2027, you're saying your
yeah.
contract is gonna be $105 a game.
So how do we,
I think the
Just
prudent
don't
thing
talk
is
about 27.
what Peter is bringing up. And what we will do is do a step for this next year, and then the following year, keep the money out of it. It will be the same as what the rate is. So that if that powder that Andrew's sprinkling all over the place goes up, to $400 a bag, and our costs change, we have the ability, the flexibility to cover
Don't stretch it out so
the
far.
powder that
Yeah.
Andrew's putting
One-year
down,
basis. and
rather
let's-
than locking in
Yeah,
a
we don't
price.
have to
that we-
Okay, so,
Motion is for 1 year.
so
Just 1 year.
I think the amendment recommended was to eliminate the 2027 commitment.
So you're amending your motion.
I'll
No,
accept
you-
that as a
yeah.
friendly amendment.
Yes, to eliminate the 2027 requirement.
'Cause I
and
seconded it.
does the second agree with that?
I just said yes.
Okay, I didn't hear. Okay, so I have a motion and a second for a $75 fee for 2026, and it'll be open for 2027. It'll go up to what
The rate.
the rate is.
Prevailing rate.
Okay, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business for chairman, I have
Thank
none.
you, Peter.
Well, new business, we
Thank
have
you.
nothing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
new business.
and then we got the report.
Then we got the chairman's report.
Yeah,
And you said nothing?
nothing.
Got it. All right.
Supervisor Dave Kester,
Nothing.
Amy Renard.
I just have one small thing. Somebody asked me recently whether we were having a tree lighting event this Christmas, and I didn't know the answer to that. Are we? No? We had one last year, didn't we?
Yes,
Yeah.
and was organized by members of the community,
Mm-hmm.
and they are not organizing it this year.
Okay. I thought We Energies was supposed to be funding that.
They gave us a donation, initial donation of $500.
And they were gonna donate again this year.
That I don't know.
Yeah,
500?
I had it set. They were gonna donate again this year.
But we're not gonna have it at all. Cause I know last year, I think it was also sort of a fundraiser for the food pantry. And the food pantry collected some food there. And that was actually pretty nice for the food pantry. But, okay, so the answer is no. Even if We Energies would contribute, still no.
All the lights got damaged by the hail on the trees, so,
Oh, okay.
This Christmas lights, you mean?
yeah, you lost over $800 worth of lights. Yep.
No, too bad. Well, maybe we ask We Energies to buy new lights for next year.
Yeah, it's too late to get those lights on the trees.
Yeah, usually those ceremonies are like the day after Thanksgiving. Okay, all right, so the
Dan?
answer is no.
I'm gonna go right there. I think we ought to ask them to look at the lighting over there. They need lights, but not that many.
Now
And that hey, it needs to be corrected, okay? I get it around the buildings and so forth, but we don't need that many lights. The place glows. They can come down here and donate money for the Christmas tree and make it glow.
For the tree.
No, I'm talking
He's talking about
the We Energies.
the We
site
Energies plant.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, we have to let it go, Dan.
At some point, it's not ever gonna get let go, because when a mistake is made, we're gonna have to make sure we can live with it with the people around there, and they have that due diligence to
Yeah.
have that, somebody work with them to tone it down. We're not asking them to shut them off, just tone it down.
You know, they're not on all night anymore, all the time.
Who is our contact over there?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna take pictures of what you see at night. I'm gonna give everybody that wants to know, and they can see it, okay?
Hey,
This
I
is coming
see
from a
it.
residence that's
I see
there.
it at night.
Okay, so we need to tone it down, okay,
Okay,
period.
I don't need a
Rick?
picture.
No, nothing to report at this time, other than what I said at the meeting.
Upcoming, or Joanne,
Upcoming meetings, we have plan commissions.
oh, you didn't put yours down.
Oh, no, I didn't do staff.
Oh.
I didn't do staff, cause I figured we were gonna be talking budget
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Let's,
Good idea.
so, sorry,
No, that's fine.
I jumped
No.
ahead.
I didn't wanna,
You don't wanna
then
leave
upcoming
them
meetings.
Upcoming meetings, plan commission tomorrow night, 7 PM. Exonia Fire Department Officers Meeting, December 3rd at 6:30. Park and Rec Meeting, December 1st at 5 PM. Peter will need your agenda, like, this week so that we can get it posted, cause we're not here Friday, Thursday or Friday. Okay, just
So
wanted to,
you're closed on Friday?
Yeah.
After, okay,
yep.
got it.
Town Board Meeting again on December 8th at 7 PM.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay. Oh, move to adjourn?
Second.
We have them, we're adjourned. Thanks, everyone, for attending.
These are extra.
Yes.
Can I just?
Go to buy me
I'll clean them up
agenda.
in the morning.